What's up, y'all? This is Cliff. Can't stop, won't stop. Here's this week's Cliff Notes on Power. Talking about a movie that came out this weekend. Talking about Judas and the Black Messiah. 4 quick points I'm gonna make about it real quick. 1, cast, incredible job. All the leading actors, actresses, great job. I expect to see, and we better see some Oscar nominations and Oscar awards for the actors as well as the movie itself, potentially Best Picture quality. So hoping to see that. And with a special shout out to Sister Dominique Fishback, who really did her thing, playing the role of Deborah in the movie, now known as Akua, but really did her thing, including one of my favorite scenes in the movie, which brings me to my second point. Black love, y'all. There was a scene in the movie, one of my favorite scenes. It's a conversation between her and Fred, and they're talking about love and family and hopes and dreams. And, it's just a real reminder that, we don't get to tell our stories, our freedom fighter stories, enough at all. And there's a lot of stories that need to be told. But when we do tell them, we oftentimes don't get to go that deep into that aspect. I love that they included so much on that relationship and that moment. Whole movies that we can do just on that aspect of our freedom fighters and love and relationships. So if you're a creative out there and you got some skills, you want to get down, hit me up, right? So that's the second point. Third point, real quick. And this is the main critique that I've heard coming from a couple people, including my wife, right? We had a whole discussion about this when we finished watching the movie, and it's about the O'Neill character and the fact that so much of the movie is from his perspective, and it's just as much about that character as it is about Fred's character, right? This is the critique I don't necessarily agree with, because I think what's important is, first and foremost, just as much as this is a movie about Fred, this was largely a movie not about that character, not about the O'Neill character, not about the infiltrator, but about COINTELPRO. And that character, O'Neill, real life person, I shouldn't just say character, but it's through his eyes that we're able to see what COINTELPRO was and what it did, right? Yeah, you could have shown that in some other ways and without having to, be through his eyes, but I think through his eyes, it really was able to give us a lens through one of the main tactics that COINTELPRO used, which was not a tactic that was limited to Chicago, nor is it a tactic that was limited to just that time period. We'll come to that in a second. Fourth point, real quick, the age of the folks that were involved in this, in the movie as well as in real life. Fred was only 21, y'all. A lot of the folks around, not just Chicago, but across the entire movement, we're talking about some folks that were in their teens, 15, 16, 17, right? And so, by not really being able to capture, I think there's a sense that they were older than what they were. And by not really being able to capture that, you might lose a couple of things. One, you lose a sense of the power that really young people had then and continue to have now, right? But the other thing is you lose a sense of the brutality of the system, right, that was harassing and murdering our young folks, children, right, boys and girls in many cases, literally. And so, so that's something I didn't really think about. And again, my dear friend, comrade, who I'm hoping to write this op-ed, this essay this week, he really raised that point. And so I thank him for that. Lots more to be said about this, right? Lots more that we can talk about, and we will talk about, including this, y'all. Here's the deal. COINTELPRO ain't never ends, right? And so lots more that we need to talk about in terms of what this looks like today. Just a couple of years ago, we saw that they had the whole article, the memo that was out talking about black identity extremists, right? That ain't nothing but a continuation of COINTELPRO. In spite of the fact that what we know is that the biggest threat to national security, domestic security, is white supremacist hate groups, right? But you don't see any of the investigations and tactics that were used against the Black Panthers and other aspects of the civil rights movement. Not that we're saying they need to go around just shooting up people like the way they did to Fred, but like the way, how you have a whole Capitol terrorist attack and y'all either didn't know about it or you didn't take it seriously enough. That's what we talking about, y'all, and that's an issue of power. So thank you for listening. Look out for the op-ed later on this week. Can't stop, won't stop. That's this week's Cliff Notes on Power.